We're back here today. We are doing a install instruction on how to replace the Warp 9 chain drive on a Talaria XXX and putting on a EBike Garage pulley kit. So starting with, you're gonna want a set of tools. I have a toolbox and everything I need inside of here, and start loosening it. I have this on really tight. Alright, there you go. And now I'm going to poke this out and through. Already have this out a little bit, but since I do some extreme riding on my bike, it will be a little bit harder to take that out. I'm currently working on taking the nut off of the shock. Okay, so with that finished, I am going to grab this and stick it back onto the swing arm so I don't lose that. This, I'm going to stick it back onto the axle that goes inside the drive shaft. Remember, every time you remove this, make sure to re-grease it and get as much dirt off as possible, because if you don't, then in the long run, this can mess up your drive shaft, and if it messes up your drive shaft, your whole drive shaft is just gonna be cooked, and you're gonna have to go to a big company and have to buy it for like $200. And I would not recommend you get the stock one. The stock one sucks. Pliers, which I should have done this at the start, but I'm just gonna do it now. So you're gonna want to go to the master link and take off and unclip this so you could get the chain out a lot easier. For a Sur-Ron, Talaria, anything that doesn't have a gearbox on it. And over time, this has gotten really bad and loud and obnoxious. Like, look at that. Look at all that wear that it has. And I haven't even taken this to the track yet. This is a brand new chain right here. So now I'm just gonna pry it out. Which, as again, I'm gonna say that you should do that at the start, not right now when you have the whole entire jack shaft off. Just a hassle. So I'm just going to take off the whole rear swing arm. Found the culprit, which is the chain. There we go. So this is still completely stock drive shaft, and that is what I said is a bunch of rocks which can mess up the bearings. Luckily, I do not have any. Oh, never mind. There's some tears right there, and that is not good. Take these 6 screws off, which I put Loctite on these, so it's gonna be a little hard for me to get them off. And when you're placing that one back on, I will fully recommend you get Loctite and put those on the screws before installing, because they can go off and start tearing through your swing arm, which it has torn somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was not good and it sounded bad. But want to go back with a 5mm and take these off. Yeah, those clicks are really good. That means that they are tied on like they should have been. Now, out with the old, in with the new. I'm going to put these screws back on. So as I'm putting this on right now, I want to show you my experience with the Warp 9 chain drive over these past races and practice runs. So roll the clips. Now it's just time to grease up these. Take off the old grease off of these bearings, or washers you want to call them, and slip it back on. Ooh, don't hurt. This pin is the most important part on your motor, so do not lose this by any means, and by all means necessary. Okay, so coming here, you can see exactly how this is supposed to be installed, which is just like that. And you can see that little curve at the end, so you know it's supposed to go like this. And whoa, make sure it's lined up, and you need to give a little bit of a jiggle for it to go and pop on, just like that. It's on properly. So all you gotta do is get this and attach that on. Get your nut. Only thing to do left is put everything back together. So I'm going to start with putting the chain onto, actually no, I need to start with putting the belt onto here. It's a whole new day, and basically I reached out to EBike Garage and they told me that they accidentally sent me the wrong size rear pulley, but they made things right and they sent me the one that I needed, which is for a Talaria. And as you can see, they're different coloring, but I believe once you order these you could get them in this color, but I really like the black. This looks nice, but in my personal preference, I really like how the black looks. Swing arm's on right now, so I'm going to take it off. So as you can see, I'm at this part where I am putting on the axle and the swing arm. So I need to be able to line up the swing arm and slide this axle through. And just like so, the belt is on. And you can see it's very loose. And now right here I am installing the swing arm with this last bolt, and then I'll be working on the belt tension. Tighten it as much as possible. So that amount of tension right there is honestly perfect, because you don't want it to be too tight and you don't want it to be too loose. Tie like this. So I'm happy with this tension that it has on right now, but you don't want it to feel like it's super stiff, and you want it to have about 3 millimeters of travel. And now That is on. And this is good. So I'm gonna push that down. And with that, the EBike Garage pulley system has just been installed. And just FYI, if you are using a upgraded motor on the Talaria XXX, you will need to put some spacers between your rear drive shaft and the rear pulley, so it pushes it out, because it will be running on the motor like just a tad bit. But on the other hand, if you are using the stock motor, you will not have any problems, because the stock motor is smaller than this one. This one has a larger stator, meaning the outside of the motor has to be larger. Now that it is installed, it's time to take it for a drive. Let's get it. Now you can see we are outside with the belt drive from EBike Garage. And so far, I already took it on a tiny little rip. It is extremely quiet compared to the belt drive, so I'm going to take it out for a ride real quick. Super good amount of play. Let's go for a little wheelie. Holy! I haven't done a wheelie on it yet. That feels extra nice. In this video, I went over the EBike Garage belt drive kit that's meant for the Talaria XXX. I've only had a very small issue with the spacing between the motor and the belt and the rear pulley, and all I had to do is add some spacers to here so I could bring the pulley out a little bit, and now I don't have any more clearance issues, so that's very good. And the rear wheel spins amazingly. I'd recommend this to people of all skill levels. If you're a pro, intermediate, beginner, this worked amazing. And I only took it on the road for a little bit, and I can't wait to bring this at my next race at eMoto Racing Live at Glen Helen on May 9th. And if you haven't signed up, you should sign up as soon as possible so you could get the best gate pick. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.